Thanks to the support as a channel member, Eduardo Franco. Very straightforward mission today. Job 1, get to the Copa Libertadores final. Job 2, win another trophy or two. We love trophies around here. And we've already done the hard work when it comes to getting ourselves into the Copa Libertadores final as well, because we are halfway through the semi-final. First leg played, and we played against Fla. I'm assuming that's Flamengo. That's a Brazilian team, right? We beat them 3-0, so that's jolly good. We are struggling a little bit in the League Cup with 9 games played. We're not actually in the top 4, but we do have 2 games in hand on those above us because of the Copa Libertadores run. So I'm confident that we are going to get into the knockout round of that. We have, though, been knocked out of the Copa Argentina, which I'll level with you. When I did the intro, I had forgotten. I thought we were still in that as well. We're not. So 1 trophy and 1 final. That's the plan for today. I think that's doable. Transfers continue to be an ongoing problem as well, because we've lost Agustin Rodriguez and can't replace him. Look at him. I told you he was good. Chelsea have come in, paid his release clause at £8 million. We never were able to talk him out of having one. But he's gone straight in there with a value of 66 to 76 million. And they're playing him. Straight away, he's gone into Chelsea's team in the Premier League. So shows just how good he is. But like I say, the window is closed for us, so we're not actually able to replace him. And because it was a relatively low release clause as well, we've not even got a lot of money to replace him with, should we fail in our quest to win the Copa Libertadores as the season goes on. I'm now doubled. I'm kind of glad he got injured when he did, because if he hadn't have got injured earlier in the season, we wouldn't have signed Martucci, and now we'd have been completely without a left winger and starting to look very, very light in the attack. But luckily, we're doing okay. We did decide to keep Dante Cruz. He's got a bit of a grumpy on about it. He wants to go to River Plate or wherever he wants to go to. He's got a moody on, but I figured we can make do with our 2 starting centre backs being in a mood and wanting to leave. I'm sure it'll be fine. I can't see how that can possibly go wrong. It'll be fine. Let's go to Brazil. This is the team we're sending for the second leg against Flamengo. Surely we're not going to mess up from here. It's Nunez in goal, a back four of Escobar, Godoy, Palazza and Menacho. Torres and Lapera in midfield. Martucci, Guilherme and Baratza behind Herrera up front. That is how low we are on players. We're having to play Bruno Baratza out on the right-hand side, where he is a natural round-oiter. We've never really used him out there before, but Herrera, finally, and I don't want to tempt fate, Ramiro Herrera is finally looking like the striker we thought we had ages ago, before all of his injuries and then the loans. And to be fair, even with all the injuries going on, he's still always scored goals. A career, 18 career goals in what is probably no more than about 25 starts across multiple clubs. He is a good striker. And if he can finally get himself fit, I mean, look at that. He's a good boy. Arrieta is obviously still knocking around the place as well and could just as easily come in on that right hand side. So could somebody like Castillo. Although Castillo, as much as he was a man for a job when we brought him in, we never expected him to still be starting 18 months later at 34 years old. So I think we're kind of phasing him out. And like I say, at the moment, the Baratza experiment on the right-hand side seems to be working. And let's face it, he's not exactly showering us with goals this season, is he? So maybe his future is out on the right-hand side, or more realistically, just not in the team at all. We'll sign if I am still here, we'll sign a proper couple of wingers in the next transfer window. And I guess commit to Herrera and Arrieta, as we've been trying to do for 2 years. And Baratza, who was only ever a stopgap anyway while we let those 2 develop, can move on. Because Herrera and Arrieta are the future. I just hope they don't get stolen and head to Europe. Anyone who comes in for them, we just have to keep reminding them, look how injury prone they are. They spend more time injured than they do fit. Do you really want them? Come on, let them stay here. We've got lovely doctors here. Look, we'll make them all better. You can have them when they're 30. I'll have them when I go to Europe. because I'm very, very much looking forward to my trip. I've been looking at flights. I don't know which part of Europe I'm going to head to, but I am starting to make some plans. So I would very much like to win this competition this season, please. So let's not mess up in this semi-final today, he says, as we literally give away a penalty and go down to 10 men. Because I think Torres is getting sent off here. He's already on a yellow card. It is a penalty. Okay, Torres manages to stay on the pitch. We need a moment from Nunez. We don't want to open a door to let them back into this football match. And we have done exactly that. It's 1-0 on the night. Still 3-1 to us on aggregate, but it's an intimidating atmosphere. There's, 70,000 people here, 76,000 people here. And we're against a team who probably fancy their chances, even in the circumstances where we completely played them off the pitch in the first leg. Menacho now plays it back to Nunez. If we give away another insane goal in the Copa Libertadores, I'm just going to go to Europe anyway, because I've just decided these players don't want to win this. Oh, all right. Nunez makes a save. It's a good save from him, but we've got to stop faffing around. I mean, they are on instruction to play the ball out from the back. It is what I want them to do, but I don't know how to make... It must be the language barrier. I don't speak great Spanish. I want them to play the ball out from the back. I don't want them to play the ball around the back, which is what they're doing. Once it goes to the goalkeeper distributes to the centre-back, that's fine. That's part of the instruction. The centre-back should then be looking to play a forward pass, whether it's to the defensive midfielder, whether it's to one of the fullbacks, even the other centre-back if he's stepped ahead of him. But we've got to stop this, giving it to the centre-back, and then the centre-back giving it back to the goalkeeper or giving it to the other centre-back who's behind him, because that's what keeps getting us in trouble. And that's what I don't want us to do. If anyone knows the secret sauce in Football Manager to get the nice, neat, short passing out from the back without all the faffing around, please feel free to let me know. And as I was saying before the match, Jefferson Palazzo never lets us down. 10 goals for him this season. That's the advantage of having a 6'4" centre-back who can do no wrong. What a man. And I think that's probably the goal that takes away any lingering doubts that we might have had. And up the colon, we're heading to the Copa Libertadores final. We are in the end times. And I am getting giddy. Look, this is my giddy face. And we are now trying to defend a corner at the other end. I mean, that's a very good header. That's as good as what we've just done at the other end. I mean, it's probably a better header. I mean, they're both... You don't get more points for a better header, so it doesn't really matter. But that does just crack that door back open again. If they score another one with half hour, 20 minutes to go, it starts to become a very nervy final few minutes with us on the ropes. So I would really... I mean, Nunez, what a performance from him today. Apparently that one's a goal kick and it wasn't even a save. It looked like a save to me. It must have hit the crossbar with his fingers really, really close. I mean, I'm not going to argue the point. I don't want it to be a corner. They've just scored from one. But I think credit goes to Nunez there again. Right, this front three is not working, is it? So let's bring Flores on. Let's bring... Where's Berghardt? Why isn't he knocking around? I mean, I guess we can bring Rodriguez on. And then we can bring on Arrieta, who can go onto that side. And maybe just slightly different personnel up there. We can maybe conjure something up and just grab ourselves another goal just to put it beyond doubt. That would be nice. We've now got very tired defenders. Escobar's having an awful game. He's on a 6.2 and he's shattered. So I guess we bring on Carrera, who we've spent many years training to play both fullback positions, so he can just come on and slot in there. And then I'm going to bring on Dante Cruz, move Godoy forward into the midfield, get another big man on for defending the set pieces, and get our experienced club icon and captain Godoy into midfield, where he can just continue doing the job Torres has been doing as the midfield enforcer, but also just calm everybody down a little bit further up the pitch. We've just got to not concede 2 goals. 5 minutes, don't concede 2 goals. It should be a relatively straightforward instruction. Let's see if we can follow it through, shall we? Because they're coming for us. And we are not playing very well. And they've got him behind us again. Nunez has it covered again. I tell you what, pivotal moment of this of this leg of the Pentagon has been selling Gonzalez for all that money and using that, because we used that Gonzalez money to buy like 3 or 4 of these players, but selling him and bringing in Nunez. Yes, we had to have half a season of playing a youth team player in goal, but what a goalkeeper we've ended up with. Another phenomenal save from Nunez. I mean, if we're doing a team of the Pentagon, he's surely the goalkeeper for it. He has been phenomenal again in this match. And they are bombarding him, and it's a one-man mission to get us into the Copa Libertadores final. And I'm delighted. I'm delighted with this goalkeeping performance today. He's deservedly going to pick up man of the match, as he should, and we've made it through to the final. The final is going to be in the next episode. Now our full focus is on doing, I guess, do you call it the domestic double in Argentina? We've already won the league. If we win the League Cup as well, do clubs do that often? What a performance. 9 saves. What a man. Just to emphasise, we sold Gonzalez for over 20 million. We signed him for £2 million. Absolutely ridiculous. He's kept more clean sheets than he has conceded goals, which is a pretty decent statistic for a goalkeeper to have, I would suggest. Right. Job 1 is make sure we get through our League Cup group, which we've got 5 games remaining. Everyone else only has 3. Fingers crossed we don't balls it up. If we do balls it up and don't actually make it into the knockout section, I guess I'm about to show you the Copa Libertadores final. But I'd rather show you a League Cup final or semi-final or something like that first, and then maybe do double finals tomorrow. That's the dream. Let's see what happens. Well, it turns out that because of the way fixtures fall, I'm showing you the Copa Libertadores final now anyway. We did go on a lovely little winning run, ended up finishing top of our group and have made it through to the semi-final, but the semi-final of the League Cup takes place after the Copa Libertadores final. So I think regardless of what happens in the final, I will see the season out. I want to try and win this domestic double as well while I'm here. It only involves hanging on for a couple of extra weeks in South America. I can even start applying for jobs in the meantime. Obviously, that's all if we manage to beat Juventud, who are the other team we potentially were going to join when we came to South America. By the way, how can their home kit be green and white and their away kit be green and white? I don't understand. And we've done a little bit of a player swap with Chelsea. After they stole Rodriguez for £8.25 million, the player they released to make a squad spot for him, Ricardo Valdez, is a 27-year-old Argentinian left winger. He's got English as a second nationality because he came through Chelsea's youth team. He's never really played for them, but I mean, to my mind, he's better than Rodriguez. He's certainly better than Martucci, according to the star rating. So he has come in. He's now our highest paid player. He's immediately injured, and obviously we can't use him this season anyway. But if we are here next year, we've potentially solved that problem with a free transfer, a player that was released by Chelsea. So that'll do very nicely. Thank you very much. But for now, it is the Copa Libertadores final, and this is our 11. And by the way, I don't want to keep drawing attention to him because I'm just worried he's going to get injured. Look at what a run in the team has done for this boy. Fingers crossed, Ramiro Herrera was the guy all along on a 2-year delay. It's Nunez in goal, a back four of Bravo, Cruz. By the way, Dante Cruz no longer wants to leave the club. So we were right to dig our heels in. He doesn't even want to leave anymore. So sometimes you don't have to bow to player power. I guess it helps when you're a 5-star reputation, one of the most renowned managers in world football. They're probably going to go with you a little bit more, I would suspect. But it's Bravo, Cruz, Palazza and Benacho at the back. Godoy and Lepera in midfield. Martucci, Guilherme and Baratza behind Herrera up front. Sean Torres is injured for the final. He's a big miss. He's been a key player on this run. Hence Godoy moving forward to midfield and Cruz getting the start. But to be fair, now Cruz has got his head screwed on right, he probably would have been starting anyway. And it would have been harsh for Godoy, the guy who's already had his testimonial. He's been here so long. He's the club captain. It would have been pretty harsh for him to miss out on the Copa Libertadores final. This is his opportunity to secure his spot as a club legend. He's still top of the icons list at the moment. I think if he lifts this trophy, surely he ascends to legendary status, which would be jolly, jolly nice. Worth noting as well that Juventud, as being the other team we were potentially going to join, they've also never won this competition. So it is going to be a first-time winner, regardless of who comes out on top today. But obviously, we'd quite like it to be us. But there is an alternate universe where you lot don't laugh at bum jokes, where this is the team that we're managing and we're on the other side of all this today. So I guess is it me versus evil Kev? Or is the one who finds the bum jokes funny? Am I evil Kev? I don't know which one's evil Kev, but either way, I feel like this is me managing against myself, which is weird. It's pretty weird. Right, Lepera in midfield, plays it across to Godoy, who gives it to Guillem, and then it's out to Menacho, who's been excellent since arriving. And what a pass from him, and Baratza is there, and Bruno Baratza, now our starting right winger, when he's fit. He's had a few injury problems of his own, demonstrating that maybe he has got a future on this right-hand side. We're obviously training both Martucci and the new boy to play on the right-hand side because we can't play them both on the left at the same time. But in the meantime, Baratza, I guess, seeing the emergence of Herrera and Arrieta over the course of this season as our 1 and 2, as our first choice strikers, Baratza has found himself a new role, freed up by the likes of Basualdo and Rodriguez leaving the club. And there you go. He scored a goal in the Copa Libertadores final off of the right wing. And it's not even a position I knew he could play when he came in. I'd like to think past Kev trained him to play there because I'm pretty sure he was an out-and-out striker when he came in. I'd have to go back and check the tapes. But I did go for a spell when we had no wide players of training everyone to play everywhere. So I suspect I'm an evil genius and I did train him to play there. You're welcome, everybody. That's another very good save from Nunez, and Dante Cruz hacks it clear. We are under some pressure here, but I mean, Nunez is just time and time again proving to be absolutely exceptional. And also Gonzalez, the goalkeeper we sold to rebuild the squad and make room for him at River Plate, they finished 12th in their League Cup group, having absolutely bombed out in the league as well. They're not even going to be in the Copa Libertadores next year. I had a look to see what had gone on with River Plate. Their manager a year ago left to go and manage Porto, and over the last 2 seasons they've sold 170 million pounds worth of players and only spent about 40 million. Half of it was on Guido Gonzalez. So yeah, I think they've just basically utterly combusted. And I guess if they get a proper manager in, there should be some money there to spend, and you might yet see the re-emergence of River Plate. But it's not going to be next year because they're not in this competition. They're basically now where we were 2 years ago. We've basically swapped places with them, although obviously they are still a bigger club. They've got a little bit more pressure on them, I suspect, than I had when I entered the colon. Right, we are being absolutely bombarded here, and I don't know how long we can rely on Nunez just making save after save. That's how long. 42 minutes is how long we could rely on that before they made the breakthrough, and it did feel like it was coming. So we do need to sort ourselves out now because this is worrisome. As much as I'm enjoying my time here at Colon, and I do think this is one of the best teams I've put together. And I'm especially enjoying the fact that because we are in South America, we do have to constantly lose our best players and reinvent. And I think every time we reinvent, we're doing an even better iteration of the team. So I'm very much enjoying that process. What a goal from him. One of those players who is only here because of that process. But I do kind of, in the interests of the series, want to move on, head to Europe, head to the final leg, and fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That is a lovely goal and a lovely finish from Martucci. And it's 2-1 just before half time. Jolly good. We'll take that. More of that in the second half. And but a couple of people have said that they don't believe I'm making custom trophies. I have got a custom Copa Libertadores trophy ready. Someone was like, is that joke funny? It's not a joke. I've made a custom trophy. You just need to look. If you can't tell they're custom, look closer. What a goal from Ramiro Herrera. I tell you what, how different might the last 2 seasons have been if he'd have stayed fit through them. There's been 2 occasions where we've sent him out on loan because he just couldn't get fit and couldn't get into the team. He's been fit for 3 or 4 months. He's finally got a run as our starting striker. We only recalled him from his most recent loan because we were desperate because everyone else was injured. And he's come in, he's capitalised, and he is a superstar to the point where I'm actually thinking maybe he's the one who comes to Europe with me. But I know all about his injury issues, so it's probably not the best plan I've ever had. Right, we're just going to make a few changes. 2-goal advantage as we head towards the final 20 minutes. Just keep things nice and fresh. Godoy is tiring, as you would expect, from a man who's nearly as old as I am. And I mean, if he's struggling to get back, having taken the throw here, and he's certainly not Sean Torres in that position, is he? But he is tracking back nicely. He's keeping up with that guy. You know what? Godoy's done really well there, and then Mancinelli's let him down because he's kind of just eased that opposition player out of danger, let someone else deal with it, and then the person who was supposed to deal with it didn't, and it's led to this corner. But Godoy did his job brilliantly. He's not Torres. He's not 6'4" and a physical monster. He's not going to be able to just crunch him with a slide tackle, but that was just good defending, and he was let down by a teammate. But let's make our couple of final changes. Godoy is going to come off because he's shattered. Carrera is going to play in central midfield. We've used him there a few times now. He's been training to play there for a little while, and I actually think his versatility might be the thing that allows him to stay at the club, even though he's lost his starting spot at right back. But the fact he can play anywhere in across those 4 positions, he's very, very useful. And La Pera is going to come off as well. No, he's not, because we don't have. Where's Rodriguez? I don't really want to play Contreras in midfield. What we'll do is take off Baratza. This is definitely sentimental. I think Arrieta deserves 10 minutes in the Copa Libertadores final. If it hadn't been for injury, he'd have been the starting striker today, because before he got injured and Herrera came back, he had forced Baratza out of the team, and he was our number 9. And it's only the form of Herrera since he took his spot while Arrieta was injured that has stopped Arrieta coming straight back in again. He'd have got back in again ahead of Baratza. And he might yet force his way in on that right-hand side long term. It won't be me who he forces his way in with, unless something terrible happens in these last couple of minutes. Nunez punching it clear. I don't like that. But Herrera, more good work from him. Look at this from Herrera. Drops deep, holds the ball up well, releases Mancinelli. If he somehow manages to get on the end of this, and he is absolutely legging it into the penalty area, it's ended up behind him. Carrera was behind Herrera in the end. Herrera ran too far, too fast to get on the end of the cross, but he could have just done history's greatest 1-2. But it doesn't matter, because we've won the match anyway. It's the 96th minute. We're 3-1 up. I need to get my custom trophy ready. Bergart plays it to Arrieta. Arrieta into Carrera. And I mean, he missed one a minute ago. I think this one's going to be disallowed as well. But Carrera trying to demonstrate that he was a midfielder all along. He's come on and played really well in central midfield. And the goal has been given. Get the trophy ready. Goodness me. This is number 4. 4 Champions Leagues on 4 different continents. Only Europe remaining. Pentagon, boys and girls. Never even close to offside. Get that trophy up in the air. Get Godoy back on. I want that man to be a legend before I leave. But here we go, boys and girls. We have won some trophies here in South America. There's just one more that we haven't won. Look at the size of Cruz compared to Godoy. And yeah, we're gonna attempt to win that in tomorrow's episode. We will start doing some job hunting as well. But we're definitely gonna play out the League Cup and hopefully win it, because I owe these boys one more trophy. I want another medal for my collection as well. This is going to be the first time we've stayed on at a club beyond the Champions League win, but I think with good reason. It's only one extra episode. Chill out. You'll be fine. Because bottom line, I'm away for 4 days at the end of this week. In fact, as you're watching this, I've probably already gone. So I can't rush into a job hunt live stream anyway. We're probably going to have to do it as a video. I'm not sure what day this one's coming out. I'm pre-recording stuff. I mean, I do enjoy people worshipping me. That's good. The fans worship me. We have won the Copa Libertadores. And now, one more. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much to my wonderful Patreons. And thank you very much for watching.